Well, good evening, friends, and welcome to this race. Hopefully, we're going to have ourselves some fun. We have game number 3 between Antlerz and RandoRunner, two runners that I am very familiar with, and I'll tell you why that is in a short moment. But let me introduce for the first time on Z1R commentary, Inven. Thanks for joining me.
Riddick, thank you for having me. Been having a blast watching this Random Force tournament. Been having even more fun playing and learning the game, and glad to get to help the community out on in the booth. Everyone's been so kind and helpful, and just making sure that we get these races on the air seems to be a good way to pay back some of that generosity.
Oh, yeah, we've had a great support from the community. A lot of different commentators, some new to the scene this year, some veterans around here. And it's just helped make this tournament even special. And we'll get to hear some of those voices when we make our way towards the end of the tournament and whatnot. Well, hopefully we will get this race going in just a moment as the runners are getting sent. There we go. I just finally found the screen on my end.
And of course, you mentioned that you had some personal experience here facing off against these runners.
As we are underway, first of all, let's go ahead and talk about that as we do start northeast of level 1.
Yep, Antler's heading right into 1Q1. Well, I guess it's also 2Q1. Just finds a letter. RandoRunner heading to the nearest Armos Knight.
And Ben, I'm glad I'm not the only one who does that.
the 1Q1, 2Q1 thing?
Yes.
You know, I really don't even know where half the second quest dungeons are at this point, so even using that nomenclature is probably a little silly.
Oh, don't worry. We'll teach you some of the nomenclature as we go through this mixed overworld. I do like the strategy by both of these runners at this point. They want to find this free item. So they're going to be checking a look at these Armos. We saw that the Grave Armos doesn't do anything. Now, Antlerz is continuing over towards First Quest 6 to see if something's over there. Whereas RandoRunner has loaded up the pause strats and is wanting to see if the Armos item is over here.
Yeah,
It is.
Scooching by the Death Armos and picked it up so quickly I didn't even get eyes on it. What was that?
Well, I'm hoping we'll find out that answer real soon. I did not get to see even when I was watching just a moment ago on the Oh, I think I know what it is. It's Red Ring. I think it's Red Ring.
Oh, very nice.
Red Ring.
That explains why you're bumping into all these enemies and not instantly dying. It makes perfect sense.
Yep.
So, very early Armos item there. Antler's kind of barking up the wrong tree, heading to the east side instead of venturing over to Death Armos. And our small secret is a whopping $2.
Yeah,
we're gonna have a poverty seed.
You don't enjoy 2 rupee seeds like that because as you run up into that, you don't know if it's the small secret or the mid secret, and then you get insulted when it comes up that value. All right, we find our any roads. One of them takes you to that recorder spot here in the Deadwoods, which is good to get eliminated from your to-do list.
Yeah, a little sad that it's only 2 screens away, but getting that knowledge, just to not have to come back to this corner of the map again, is very pleasant.
We find a sword that Antlerz can't yield at this point. That would be the magical sword. And that eliminates one of the worst spots for a sword to pop up, the open cave on Death Mountain.
So pretty nice utility from the Any Road today, even though that first one was just a little bit over, eliminating some annoying spots and helping get to places far, far away. Handy. And that key price didn't seem that cheap either. Was that a 97 I saw on Antler's screen?
That's the expensive key.
Gotcha.
We saw a cheaper key going for in the 60s at the what is the Grave shop.
Gotcha. Excellent. An extremely short mystery message here without having the book. So we have only a 2 rupee small secret, and we're probably not going to get to do quick resets out of door repairs. So maybe financially strapped this seed. I guess we'll see what that large secret is when we find one.
It also depends on what that value of the penalty is. We haven't necessarily seen the full value at this point. What was that item on the coast? That item on the coast was the white sword. Okay.
And right next to it, though, also maybe relevantly, we did see the first candle shop. 71 for your blue candle if you want to start burning things. And very expensive bombs. 38 if you want to buy them in a shop.
Which in that position you would probably buy just so that way you can better efficiently get your checks done over here as you head over towards the northeast corner. Antler's about to get the red ring. There it is. We got to actually see on the screen at RandoRunner gets the sword at the Lost Hills shop.
Yeah, so early red ring, always pleasant. You just know that no matter how nasty your overworld and dungeons are, runners of this caliber are going to be able to just really start zooming through. Especially RandoRunner now that he has that sword on hand.
Yeah, you definitely still need to be a little careful. You just can't go fully into tank mode, especially on 3 hearts, because especially with enemies like the Gibdos and the Lionels, you touch them too much, you are going back to start.
Yeah. I used to be so scared of Lionels, and now just the simple fact that they actually get stunned, it's nice to have an enemy that actually, responds when you poke it, instead of just barreling at you full force, in spite of it.
Yeah, you notice things with regards to the Lionels. Like, you're able to maybe halt their pattern a little bit. Like, if you're close enough, if you hit them, that's going to stop them from attacking you with their swords. We do have RandoRunner finally picking up a bomb pack, but I think as far as the global counts are concerned, 1 for like 5 at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Gibdo's up there near the gambling house, the vanilla gambling house, being very generous, not going to have to orphan these bomb checks up here on the mountain and near the coast.
The original gamble spot is why we call that Casino Corner. At least some commentators do. So we find ourselves nothing over there, just a potion shop. And we're not going to activate the letter just yet because we can't buy a potion. So why sit through the text every time you go into a potion shop?
Oh, yeah. And with Red Ring, may not even end up needing it by the end of the seed. That is one thing I've discovered, though, that the speed with which it lets you explore level 9, if you reach a dead end, being able to reliably go back in and know I'm not going to be at 3 hearts over and over. But, I see some other runners who are like, nope, I'm not picking up hearts, I'm not picking up potions. You've raced both Antlerz and RandoRunner. Do you know what their philosophies are in regards of staying healthy?
Don't run into things. It really is as simple as that. Don't put yourself into a position where you're going to run into things. As you notice, RandoRunner's trying to attach to the half tiles. Unfortunately, was on the wrong side of that Lionel beam. But I mean, when you have Red Ring, it's not quite as penalizing. Chat, by the way, is pointing out that door repair is only 15, so it's the minimum.
Oh, pretty cheap, pretty cheap. That'll mitigate a little bit of the small secrets being so paltry tonight. And I believe the mid ones are also below average, right? 27 is slightly below average.
Yep.
Strange, though, I do not think we've seen a single dungeon yet. Been checking all these open entrances, several bomb walls, and still no actual levels to speak of. Are they all going to be hidden under the candle?
In Vin, I don't even have a spot marked on my tracker yet as far as dungeons are concerned. I have 2 sword locations. I have the warps, and I have the location of the candle, but nothing that says any of our levels are there. We're going to have to find some of them at some point.
Yeah. And Antlerz here is having to leave a few of these bomb walls orphan. Not been able to get a drop yet. Well, maybe because didn't have the sword yet. There we go. Some combat on the table for Antlerz.
Yeah, and RandoRunner now going to see the bomb prices being 38 rupees, and you're probably going, oh, come on at that point in time. Oh, there's a level 2.
Hey, excellent. I believe this
Antler's
is
got...
up.
I love how Antler's got bopped around by the Gibdo banana there, the boomerang, and as a result, put him at the Armos that actually was the secondary staircase.
That's cute.
All right. Clear
Level
that
2
room.
so far.
Oh,
sorry.
speaking of bananas.
Okay, wooden boomerang for the item in here in level 2. Antlers, that appears to be enough of that for now.
Yeah, you don't have any keys, so you can't go through the north door. I'm surprised Antler's didn't try to go through the double block staircase there to see if that was something. Level 9. All right, let's see how many Triforces we need for this seed, and it is a 6 out of 8.
Not so bad, not so bad. Gives our runners a little bit of variety in terms of where they pick and choose their fights. It's not, all or nothing. You're not feeling panicked with the 5 force. You're not trudging through everything for the A1. So I'm hoping we get some good divergence.
By the way, RandoRunner is up to 85 rupees, HUD clipping, and now going to purchase a candle. And level 4 is also right next to 2 and 9.
Convenient, but another key door as soon as we walk in. Are we actually going to make some ingress here, or are we just going to be, stuck trying to find our keychain?
Right now, it looks like this is just going to be a slog through to figure out where you're actually going to get some keys to move through this seed. As RandoRunner, we do get a key there, which Antler's is going to go ahead and spend. You don't really want to spend it when you have 0, but in this instance, you want to move through this dungeon. Maybe this is the item. No, it's not.
Yeah, so Seed being a little stingy so far, and yet another key door, but at least there's a shutter here. We'll get to continue exploring a little bit more. And RandoRunner putting that candle to work, starting to check all these burn spots. As I'm sure RandoRunner also probably now wondering, where are all the dungeons? Where are they hiding?
So the nice thing about this room that Antler's is in, you know that key door, it's right next to the block. Even if this is the push block to go through the door, you'd be able to get that Kanana key.
Yeah, beautiful
And
Kanana there using the bomb for the kill.
Yeah. And that was Antler's knowing where exactly he was in the moment of trying to kill those. Really well done. And this is, as we get deeper and deeper into this tournament, by the way, 85 was our large secret. So everything is under the normal price today. But as we move along in this tournament, this is something you're going to notice by more and more runners. Who knows how to do their 10 forces? Who knows how to do the Kanana keys with ease? And we just saw that with Antlers.
Yeah, maximize those resources so that even when the seed is trying to starve you, you can still actually make your progress.
Alright, so we just saw the heart container in 4, which means we are likely looking for the floor drop, unless this was the double-hearted level.
Yeah, always with the new feature, I mean, it's not new at this point. The tournament's been going on for a couple months, of course, but to have the within dungeon floor heart being able to be shuffled to the staircase, I imagine there are a few more groans of annoyance than when you do eventually find that floor drop, and it turns out you were just coast-hearted.
And I just want to go quickly to what it is, double-hearted 4.
There you go.
But I did want to go back to what Antlers did a moment ago.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you saw that room with the Moldorm, oh my gosh, it's a triple segmented 3.
That's a very, very gross level 3 RandoRunner and nope and out.
But to finish that thought here with regards to Antlers, walked into the room with the Moldorm, bopped by purpose, so that way you get back to 0 on your consecutive kill counts. And then, oh gosh, this room. And then, because the Moldworm, if you kill it completely, that's 10 kills.
Yeah, you force your 10 drop with the bomb kill. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Really well done.
And pardon, a RandoRunner just wanted to do the pirouette to open the path to the right, but like you mentioned, that moat room already suggesting there may be. Well, actually, from that side of it, it's not even a real ladder block. You'd have to clip as well.
Yeah, that room is the 2Q6 room. It only appears in second quest. And we know this is going to be a fun level to try to find the item in.
Yeah, because at minimum 2 staircases around here. And there's one of them.
And level 7 found at the what we call the Forgotten Spot.
Love that magenta color.
Yeah, it's a solid texture to the dungeon. Wizrobes, however, are not a solid texture to the dungeon.
At least we do have a means of getting bombs in the dungeon, thanks to their presence. The Vyres, sorry, I was trying to remember the big jumpy friends' names. I know that everyone's thankful when they roll down low enough to actually use them to replenish your supplies, but probably not happening this early into the seed with our current loadout. And yeah, Dark Nuts, Wizrobes, Pole's Voices.
Oh my.
Well, yeah, all the classics have stayed in their dungeons today, it seems. Gibdos being the main ones that have changed to the overworld. So, with no bow and no sword upgrade and no wand, these combats are gonna take a hot minute.
Yeah, at least we have an early red ring to help minimize that.
Yeah, what's the opposite of a glass cannon?
You got me on that one.
Yeah, we're all iron slingshots. I don't know. Let me workshop that and get back to you.
We'll check back with you in about 10 minutes.
I had something for this.
Antlerz finding that really that level 3 is not, or rather that level 7 is just not a fun place and has given up on it right now.
Yeah. So notably, we've still not seen our white sword item. Both our runners are up to 6 hearts, guaranteed to be able to get it when we find it. And of course, if it's the latter, you immediately get white sword access to the coast. A wand would be great combat advantage. Any key to stop you from having to... Well, Antlerz has gotten pretty ahead of the key count game at this point. But level 1 has a way of eating them up.
I was gonna say, oh, and it's got Wizrobes too. Oh,
very thankful for that red ring right now, huh? But you were mentioning runners, the deeper we go in the tournament and, the things they do innately. And I think one of my favorite things is watching these experts of the game dance around blue Wizrobes, which, careful there. Just to have that pattern so drilled into your mind that you're able to just dance around the room and not be panicking nonstop.
You gotta be careful there, Ben. If you keep talking like that, you're gonna end up on the clip show.
I don't want to curse anyone. I'm trying to praise. I'm sorry.
Our container found for Antlerz, and again, we know that that's not the coast heart because we found double hearts in 4.
And Patra's showing up to hamper RandoRunner over here in 3. These dungeons, you rolled this seed, right?
I do not take responsibility for my actions. I just typed in the command, and at that point in time, the seed chose pain.
Yeah, these enemy groups are definitely slowing things down. And the book, well, I don't think you're affording a lot of hints with only 41 rupees.
Yeah, but we haven't even seen any of the hint shops yet. RandoRunner finding the heart container in the staircase, so we're looking for the floor drop in 3.
One, continuing to be generous with its keys. At least it has that going for it, right? Your combat may be rude, but some of the things are giving back just a little bit.
You're going to say no to bombs on the floor at that position when you only have 2 for Antlerz. And the recorder, the other item in 1.
Pretty handy. Of course, if we were not doing Mixed Quest Overworld, you'd have, a whopping 1 flute check to make. But this tournament makes that a very, very... well, I mean, of course, we still see seeds where none of the flute spots matter, but there's so many flute spots, so nice to get it a little early so you don't have to worry about looping back over the entire world.
But we do have to go all the way to the top of this level 1 to find our Triforce. Are we going to be able to get there? Oh, we have a bait block in 1!
Beautiful.
We have a bona fide bait block. We're going to need to stop and get some meat.
Well, it is only a 6 Triforce seed. Antlerz does have a heart container. Oh, and both book and flute out of there. So no items left. Do you
Power bracelet
still plan to go back?
That's a good question. Because, yeah, that Triforce not necessary, but you're not buying the 109 bait.
How much is this Triforce piece worth to you? What could it cost? 100? 110 rupees?
No.
We have a little lamb on the recorder tune, and RandoRunner grabs that. The triangle, the Triforce piece was pretty early in 3. All that digging was really just to find the items, but Power Bracelet also opens up a whole lot of these checks.
Yes, indeed. Antlerz about to find out that this is one of the any roads. Because Antlerz never took the any roads to figure out that that recorder spot in the Lost Woods was actually one of the any roads there. So 80 rupees is the cheap meat. That is plus 20 off the minimum.
Also, interestingly enough, I just noticed that with changing the dialogue, of course, from send help to this much longer text, the book is actually costing Antlerz a little bit of time with all these occupied caves.
Yeah, a little bit longer text right there. You're right. And yeah, I do want to make sure that we do note that that was a really good bomb force up there on Death Mountain by Antlerz. Alright, so I'm going to assume that while bait is needed for the Triforce in 1, you're not seeing these runners get the bait. They'll save their 80.
We've not seen level 6 or level 8 at all. And sometimes those are just so nasty that maybe you just run across enough rupee bosses that you have the money to spend.
In Ven, first of all, we just found level 8.
Oh, pardon me.
Spoke there on RandoRunner's side. That was located east of level 4. And secondly, it's another Wizrobe dungeon.
Yeah, but very healthy now. 7 hearts, red ring. It's more just probably a minor annoyance than an actual threat to RandoRunner. Oh, I love that too. Doing the damage with the bomb and opening the bomb wall at the same time. Very nice placement.
Yeah, there's a lot of runners who know how to do that. They make proper, efficient use of the bombs, not only to open up a bomb wall, but to do damage to enemies at the very same time. You're going to see, as we move along, runners who will force the enemies up into those paths so that way they can stack the damage.
Meanwhile, while RandoRunner's exploring this 8, Antlerz did make a beeline over to the coastal shop to pick up that candle. I was a little surprised that Antlerz wasn't checking the desert flute spots while walking over there, but it looks like the plan was to trace it all on the way back and just do 1 trip instead of 2. I like it.
Well, yeah, I think the bigger annoying thing for Antlerz at this point in time is that he has not picked up any Triforces. So when you do the tune on a screen that is potentially a staircase but not guaranteed, when it doesn't spawn the whirlwind, you don't know until you sit there and have to wait for seconds to find out that it's nothing.
That's true. That's true. And kind of a low Triforce seed so far in general. Only one picked up, nearly 24-minute mark. That 1 out of 3 by RandoRunner. Usually when it seems that when you get an Armos Knight red ring as your very first item, you kind of hope that you're going to be zooming a little bit. But this seed's being a little obstinate for our runners tonight.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing here is that the Triforces have not put themselves in easy spots. Like that level 1 Triforce is all the way in the top, and as we just noted, it's behind a bait block.
Yeah. One of the transports in 8. Not seen any. I don't think we've even seen the heart yet. So, gonna continue clearing all these rooms and checking for the staircases. Where's the goods? Level 8. Where are you hiding them?
The place that you're gonna check last. And then you'll hate it because it's right next to start, and you should have just went right instead of up.
Antler's looking pretty good on the rupee count. Did buy that candle a moment ago. Again, I wonder how much that meat block is going to be lingering, because you're still going to probably want to buy arrows at some point.
Ooh, did you see that?
Yes, that's massive. We know our white sword item is the ladder, and then the ladder lets us get our ghost item, which is the white sword. That's the combat boost we're looking for.
Yep, now you're going to see Antlerz use the recorder here in the desert.
Where is it?
You know you have access, unless it is the power bracelet spot, to get this ladder.
Oh, does the spot south of the fairy fountain count as a desert?
Yep.
Gotcha.
But there it is right there.
Watch out for whiz robes. Yeah, we've noticed. We've noticed there.
Thank you, game. How nice of you to tell us that. Oh, by the way, look at this map for level 8.
Oh.
I don't even know what I can call this.
Yeah, that's not a shape I am familiar with. But yes, even though that white sword will be huge, RandoRunner's still the only one with a Triforce on the table. Weird fish. Punch card. I mean, isn't every stage in shapes kind of a punch card when you really get down to it? And here we go.
The white sword for Antlerz.
And the Goma up here in the northeast corner of level 8, blocking a maze room. That does not push. You came all this way.
Yeah, nothing but a red herring. Oh! There's something to be said about finding or trying the magical sword at 10 hearts. Unfortunately for Antlerz, that's not to be the case here.
It's also kind of funny because I completely understand the logic of going and getting the white sword first, because you only have the 20% chance of mags, even if you do want to come back up here. But you have to imagine that it's also just as frustrating to go all the way to the white sword, then come up here and immediately get mags. Antlerz might have been more angry if it had let him pick it up.
All right, Antlerz back inside of this level 2. In fact, Antlerz is the one who knows that this is a 6 Triforce seed.
That's true. That's true. And it is a segmented 2 at that. Ugh.
I mean, did you see that level 3? The pieces of all the other dungeons had to go somewhere. And there's our confirmation right there on the shape of level 2. And all Antlerz is looking for here is the Triforce. Already, we've seen the Boomerang in 2.
Yeah, so no item increases to be gained here. But there was what was the other dungeon that was up here in the same neighborhood?
Well, you had 2,
4?
9, and 4.
4 was right up here as well. Yeah. So but we also, Antlerz already knows that's the Coast Heart, so you're revisiting these dungeons to get your Triforces, which, you know, you need, and you're hoping not to have to worry about the bait block back in 1. But at the same time, you already know all the items in here, too. So it's not necessarily going to increase your capabilities that much, but I guess it's good to just get them out of the way and have more places you can flute to.
Well, including the fact that you can flute to a dungeon you get the Triforce out of over in this section of the world, and be right next to level 9 when it's time to go in.
Yeah, yeah. And now, forgive me if I've missed it, but has RandoRunner found a single item here in level 8 yet?
I have not seen a thing yet.
This Pole's voice is going much faster with the white sword than our earlier combats versus them. And RandoRunner out of bombs, so hoping to get a drop from these orange whiz robes to continue some of this exploration.
And Antlerz getting their first Triforce piece at the 30-minute mark.
I do think we're about to see Antlerz really start to accelerate, though. I mean, we have the red ring, 10 hearts, white sword. You know, it may feel a little rough only having one triangle at this point, but just the power that you actually have to get through these dungeons now is so much greater than it was at the start of the seed.
That one Triforce doesn't matter if you can start just zooming through the rest of your levels.
Yeah.
You just got to make sure you play with a level head in that regards. You can't think about the fact that you have only one Triforce at the 30-minute mark. Because if you do, you're going to make mistakes, and this is we're in that position of the tournament where you can't get away with making mistakes like that.
RandoRunner, show me an item.
Yeah, I think we might find one right here. It's the bow and 8.
All your efforts have been richly rewarded. No arrow. Wait, I had already bought arrows too. That's wonderful. The Pole's voices, at least, will not be slowing down RandoRunner at this point. That's for sure.
Like these ones?
Exactly.
And this could very well be another staircase room. And it's not. You're hoping, but not in this case. Hi, Goma. Wand the
Not
other item
bad.
in 8.
I like that I mean, logically, of course, no diamond staircase like that is going to stop anyone at this point. But I do love that logically, the bow was blocking that wand. But that's really great for RandoRunner. Now also has quite a bit of combat power. Just all that time spent with the wood sword versus these dungeon enemies, and now having the wand to have, you know, the range, the bow for dealing with Pole's voices and Goma's, and of course doing the double stab. Like, RandoRunner is going to start really kicking into overdrive here, I bet, as well.
Ooh, level 5 on the river.
And immediate floor heart. Well, that narrows things down. Thank you. No more floor items, please. Well, Except Triforce, of course.
All right, this is going to be a transport. This will be a transport. No, okay.
Well, thank you, level 5.
Instant satisfaction level 5. I will point out the only level we haven't seen anything in yet is level 6.
Yeah, all the others accounted for. And pirouetting from the left reveals nothing that way, so bombing up.
Yeah, you have to be able to move in this level 5 at some point, and there's the map to show us where we need to go. And Antlerz at this point just looking for the Triforce.
RandoRunner finds another Takeney, grabs that potion.
Mugger, which is so much fun when you find it here in this level. And then right into a left Mola.
Thank you, Red Ring. Thank you again. And chat asking what the item in 7 was. Did we even see it yet?
We saw level 7's at the Forgotten Spot, but did we find an item in there? The answer is no.
Yeah, I didn't think we got to make much passage into there at all yet, so lots of options still on the table there.
Chad mentioning about Antlerz never finding the bow. It's gonna happen where Antlerz will find that bow, because there's one thing you're not going to do is go to level 9 without them. Nice transport staircase, by the way.
Yeah, certain items are guaranteed to be in your dungeons 1 through 8 and overworld checks, and bow is absolutely one of them.
So Antlerz knows that if he... Never mind, there's the Triforce. I was going to say Antlerz knows if he finds a transport staircase to avoid it, because it takes him to that one room that he couldn't get to under the V column.
Okay.
So I think Rando... Nope, never mind, we're saving. I thought we were going to continue on. Oh, we're just going to do the save here. Check these spots. About to find level 7. As far as we know, I have not been keeping a great eye on this, but I'm under the assumption that RandoRunner is going to need that ladder.
Yeah, I don't think we've had any hard ladder blocks in dungeons yet, but at the same time, it's very rare you have a ladderless seed.
Yeah, level 5 was totally ladder blocked in the sense that it was in that river spot.
Oh, yes, yes, of course, pardon me, yes.
On a 6 Triforce seed, is it really going to be needed is the very good question.
Yeah, and I believe we still have not seen Dungeon 6, which could be at one of the raft spots, which is the item we got out of 5, but typically unlikely. But you never know.
RandoRunner into level 1. This is part of the process here for RandoRunner. Book and recorder were here.
Chat asking, where's the white sword item? It is in the desert. Of the 3 flute desert spots, it's the bottom one. And it is the ladder, which of course gives white sword and, well, access to level 5. And as nice as it was for RandoRunner to get the wand and the bow, not going to do a whole lot of favors versus the blue wizard room. So I like the potion use here. You know, there's the classic RPG bit of I have this entire stack of elixirs that I've never used at the end of it. So I like it when runners take the potion, when they actually use the potion to go faster. It's good to see.
Imagine using your healing items when you have them in your pocket.
But I might need it for the next seed. Wait.
I'm just trying to save it for the boss of the game. Oh, wait. Yeah, it's taking me too long to get to the boss of the seed. Been there, done that. There's the book.
Yeah. But of course, we do know as well that RandoRunner will get to that lovely, lovely, hungry Goriah encounter up here in a moment. I'm curious if either runner will actually go for the meat, because they both have the money to afford it now.
There's the vote for Antlerz. Any concern about Antlerz not getting the bow and 8 has just been eliminated.
We know the wand isn't too far away either.
Yeah, but it's in the room to the left of where Antlerz is now.
Yeah. And also chat had mentioned worry that Antlerz would end up in that room before getting the bow, which would result in it locks you in. There's a shutter in there. You have to kill the Goma to get out. But Antlerz hasn't bought arrows yet, so that reset may still be happening anyway.
Yeah, but you're going to go on the staircase. You'll get the wand, then you'll up and day.
Yeah. And yeah, no hint shops yet, chat. Antlerz had the book fairly early. RandoRunner has gotten it in Equalize, but I don't think we've even seen a worthwhile hint from any of the old men in the dungeons, have we?
And RandoRunner's about to get the sad news about this level 1 in 3, 2, 1.
So hungry. Pardon me, it's a Wizrobe this time, not a Goriah. It's still grumbling, though.
Yeah, it wants Skittles. Oh, Antlerz has just shown us that we are going to go back to level 1.
I like that. I mean, Antlerz at this point knows that it's 6 Triforces, has seen enough dungeons to get those 6, has the bow, and a lot of people just hate level 6 anyway. I like the idea of getting things done, getting your Triforce, and I would be looking for silvers in 9, I think, if I were in Antlerz shoes.
I mean, that is the common play to see if the silvers are going to be inside of that level. So if you are cheering on RandoRunner in this situation, you really want, as we get the Triforce right there, not sure why we spent the bomb, but you're really, really hoping that the silvers are not in 9. And here's the bait purchase for RandoRunner. Both runners going for the expensive slab of meat.
Well, sometimes sometimes the shorter path over saving, a buck. It's why you walk to the corner store instead of, driving out to the suburbs to the Mega Mart, right? So I like it. Just get it as quickly as you can. Get your Triforce as quickly as you can. And I'm excited that the first race I've gotten to commentate is going to have both runners buying and using meat. That's exciting to me.
Well, you don't go to 7 towns over to get your laundry detergent just so you can save 50 cents?
I mean, I have family members who will drive that far to get a deal, and I'm like, how much did you spend on gas? And they're like,
exactly.
they didn't quite do the math.
All right. Can we get the Triforce out of this level?
Because RandoRunner doesn't
yes.
have no ladder block, no well that's the main thing left that would get in RandoRunner's way.
And there it is, Triforce out of level 1, so that puts RandoRunner at 3. Antlerz now up to 5, and knows where level 3 is, down at near Vanilla. Actually, no, Antlerz does not know about level 3 yet. Antlerz has not made it towards near the Vanilla Star area to find where level 3 is. Wait a second. No. Antlerz has the Triforce out of 8.
That's 6. Oh, okay.
That's 6.
That's 6. Here we go. One more try
No,
at max.
Antlerz does not. Antlerz does not. Antlerz does not.
Oh, Antlerz
That's
does not.
right. Antlerz got locked in with that Goma. Never mind.
Right.
Now just has to get this Triforce out of 8. Then we can go into 9.
And does have mags to speed it up. Collected enough hearts. Didn't require more than 12.
Yeah, it was somewhere between 11 and 12 hearts required mint. Antlerz will go ahead and pick up this Triforce. If we can switch the audio over to Antlerz, I think we're about ready to get into a level 9 dig in just a moment. Big thank you to Kami and Renkuai for doing the tracking for this race.
Yeah, and no compass for Antlerz yet, but given where he was digging, if he heads that direction and continues digging along that left side, he'll get it, yeah. Or did he see it when he was passing through earlier? He must have seen it.
I think so, but maybe.
Very quick beeline to it, and that's number
level
6.
This is not the level that you really want to see, but I think that's RandoRunner's best chance of even coming away with a win in this race at this point. You need level 6 to have the silvers.
Yeah, the other main place they could still be is level 7, right? Of course, Antlerz knows where level 7 is, and would probably return there instead of exploring the world trying to find number 6.
Yep. All right, level 9, we're going to be forced into one direction. We do get ourselves our first staircase, 3 shutter doors, so none of them is going to be leading you to Zelda immediately.
There's our first transport. You're not getting an easy silvers on the first royal room of this one.
Another staircase here. And the any key is the first of the 2 items in 9.
Pretty good. That gives RandoRunner an out.
By the way, RandoRunner picking up the ladder as the white sword item. Another staircase in this room. Is this the second item? No, it's a transport. What if this brings you 1 room over? It doesn't.
Right back to where you were. Not far corner. We're at... Is that about the 4th spot down below the V? So kind of right in the middle of all things here.
We're getting all the bosses right now.
And all the staircases.
Nothing there, though.
So I believe that the count is, what, 14 total staircases if your 9's not segmented?
Yep. You have the 6 pairs and then the 2 item staircases. And we have found the location of Princess Zelda.
There we go. Not too difficult to find. Not hiding. Okay. Northeast Beast, so we know where to go for that, but still looking for silvers or a hint about them.
Yeah, you're hoping in that case of the hint about where the silvers are. Yeah, you'll take the Beast Awaits hint, but you really wanted the silvers hint there.
Another potential staircase room. Nope.
Another red herring.
I am also really nervous for RandoRunner here, even if we do, get the big equalizer, silvers or elsewhere. Chad was pointing out that RandoRunner may not have even seen level 9?
RandoRunner has not been to the 2495 section of our map here.
Yeah, so being on this half of the map, I'm going to assume that he'll head there rather than, making a Death Mountain play or something.
Game
That'll
over.
do it! That's unfortunate.
Yeah, so RandoRunner's best chance, unfortunately, has now drifted away as once Antlerz went into one and took the pathway to what yielded the white sword and ladder, just this seed started to really accelerate, and Antlerz just needs to figure out where in this northeast corner Ganon is.
Yeah, RandoRunner played great, but the problem was the combat in these dungeons with just the wooden sword just took so much time. The Pole's voices, the blue dark nuts, the blue whiz robes, that once Antlerz got that white sword was just able to accelerate so nicely. Because RandoRunner explored so much of that level 8 as well, whereas Antlerz started and basically went clockwise and found everything there in that southwest corner.
By the way, we're hearing a roar in this room of the 3 blue dark nuts. We know Ganon is to the north because the room to the south is Princess Zelda.
But not bombing. Where's our path to the pig? Oh, looks like we found it.
Yep. Just gotta clear this room out.
And that was Hitler's last bomb, too. So is this going to be, perfect resource utilization on the seed, finishing it with 0 bombs? It's looking likely.
Here we go. And you just need 4 swipes with the magical sword against Ganon. There's 2. And we're about to get the 3rd hit once he starts rotating over. Missed the opportunity there. This is not the best room for Ganon because of just how awkward the Ganon spawns can be. But that will do it. And get your GGs ready as Antlerz will win this series 2-1 and will move on to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, we'll be matched up against the Pirate Sheep. Ought to be a really good series.
Yep, there's the shutter door opening up for Antlerz. All right, that does it. Antlerz moving on.
GG's. Official time of 50 minutes, 38 seconds. RandoRunner has hit the forfeit button, will not be closing out the seed at this point.
Yep, and we'll get them both in here so they can go ahead and talk things through as RandoRunner will be here in just a moment, but we are here with our race winner, Antlerz. GG's.
Yo, thank you.
I think a couple of things wound up happening in this seed, where you were able to get to that northern section where 2, 4, 5, and 9 were a bit faster, which helped you get the Triforces you needed, combined with what really helped you take this seed off, getting into 1.
Yeah, that the 1 play was what I thought was really gonna go in my favor. I decided to I didn't have the money for Candle. I had enough bombs. I just decided to go for it. Ended up paying off in a big way. Or for Death Mountain, I mean. Obviously, who knows what was going to be up there, but the Death Mountain was right next to start, and some of those checks I could even save scum if I wanted to at that point. So that, that made the decision for me.
And we are joined by RandoRunner. GG's.
GG's, Rando.
You are lighting up green, however, we did not get to hear anything come out.
I said GG's, man. I guess I went the wrong way.
Yeah, GG's, dude.
I think, honestly, what you're finding out right now is kind of what put Antlerz ahead of you in this seed. The fact that there are 4 levels up here in this northern section of Hyrule. You had 2, you're in 9 there. 4 is above that on top of the waterfall, and 5's on the 2Q8 spot.
Exactly. You just misrouted the crap out of this seed. Wow.
And the other thing, unfortunately, was that level 1 kind of was the make or break of this seed because of the fact that that recorder blocked the ladder. And Antlerz was there a little bit sooner. But what I did admire is that both of you ended up purchasing the expensive cut of meat.
Yeah, I was right next to start. So I'm like, time is more important than money at that point.
Yeah, I just wanted the Triforce at that point. I don't know, I felt like I was kind of running behind, but because I just felt like, I didn't feel like anything was really going wrong. It's just misrouting. I just was finding all the wrong levels and all the wrong items, I guess. So, just bad luck.
Yeah, that's how you have to look at this race. If the silvers turned out to be in that level 6 that was up on Death Mountain that you had found, then we're talking about a different kind of game. But unfortunately, the silvers turned out to be a 9 right on the path for Antlerz, and they wound up getting the bow out of 8 as well. Like, the two real outs that you had, just Antlerz shut the door on those.
Well, GG's, man. I mean, I had you beating me in the brackets anyway, so I figured this was going to come down to this. So, I mean, the best man, I think, won this, and good luck to you the rest of the way out. I'm rooting for you, man.
I appreciate it, dude. And yeah, you definitely have been a great person to race against and a great player in your own right. And this one swung my way this time, but it just as could have easily as could have gone your way. Just depending, if the silver, like Rick said, if the silvers weren't in that 9, they were in 6 instead. Sounds like you were in 6, and you probably win that. So,
I mean, I didn't even actually dig 6. I mean, when I found the recorder and 1, I already had the power bracelet out of 3. So my goal was to find 9, and I found 2. So I skipped 6 and 7. I didn't even bother with either of those dungeons.
Right, but it was just more along the lines of the fact that you knew where 6 was compared to Antlerz, who would have to search all the Death Mountain to find it.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I think...
Oh,
sorry.
I guess I would have found all the dungeons right there pretty soon then.
Yep.
Yeah, I also never found 3 either. I never found 6 or 3. And the 3 was what really worried me. Because I had no idea where that was, and I had a ton of overworld left to do. Like, I hadn't touched the Deadwoods outside of Open Caves. Didn't touch West Death Mountain. Both raft spots, which I found in level 5 under the recorder. Yeah, no power bracelet spots, obviously, because I didn't find the PB. So it was definitely worrying. If the silvers weren't in 9, I was going to be very, very concerned.
I I was a little worried, I'm not going to lie, when I left 3, because I had the power bracelet. I was like, well, that's okay, but I spent a little time in there. But I guess it ended up screwing me in the end because nothing was power bracelet blocked.
Yeah, that's the rough thing about finding those exploration items, dude. When you find them and they don't pay off, it's rough. That recorder ended up being so massive with that ladder, allowing me to get the white sword, and after that I was just cruising through dungeons. And then I found the wand in 8, which also helped, and then pretty much immediately after pulled mags, so it was constant offensive upgrades after that.
Yeah. And
how long did you spend in 8? Because that one was a long time for me. I ended up digging all of the right side and up north before I went left.
Yikes. Yeah, I barely spent it. I maybe saw 10 rooms in that level 8, and I found both items and the Triforce.
Yeah, that's where you got me then.
Yeah, I did leave after the 2 items, but to kind of collect my thoughts and decide whether I wanted to dig the Triforce, because I had 6 dungeons found at that point, but I went back and dug 7 for the Triforce. because I hadn't found the item and thought silvers could possibly be in there. Turns out the Triforce was like one room past where I had previously gone, so dipped out of that, and I'm like, all right, we're going to 9. Went and bought the meat, went to 1, knocked that out, and then I actually made the mags played before I went back to 8. And the first new room that I saw also had the Triforce in there.
You're super fast, man. Super fast.
I got very fortunate with the routes that I took in this race, though. That was it would have been hard to beat that route, regardless of who took it.
Yeah, this was the type of race where the race shaped up for one runner, and it very well could have been RandoRunner in a different kind of seed. And I mean, we saw that this seed or this series went to all 3 games. Both of you are fantastic runners. I obviously got to face both of you during the course of this tournament, and you showed off why you're great runners. And I hold your head up high in this one here, RandoRunner. This here just came down to Antlerz having better luck on finding things.
Yeah, I mean, luck or no luck. I mean, Antlerz is a really good player, and he's probably going to be one to mess with in this tournament.
Well, I appreciate that, dude, and all the feelings are mutual on that. You're one hell of a player, and it's been really cool to see you come back and just continue to play well. And I'm looking forward to seeing you get that sub 30.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. I guess it's back to the grinding on that. I try to see if I can get it eventually.
Oh, you will. I know it.
You will, and just keep at it. It will come. One of these days I'll get a sub 30, but that will take me actually getting back into the game to study that as well. Yeah, hold up your head high. You did a fantastic job. You made it to the round of 16, which in a field of 92, that is a phenomenal job.
Yeah, I mean, no shame here. I lost to one of the best players in the game.
And Antlerz, you are moving on, and you've got the Pirate Sheep in the quarterfinals. Your thoughts heading into that best of 3?
Yeah, Pirate Sheep's really, really good. He's kind of come out of nowhere with, he was in the last Rookie Rumble with my brother, and I think he might have beaten my brother in that tournament, or I'm not sure. I don't know if he played him or not, but I know he's, that was from that, he's gone on to be taking down some of the best in the game. So definitely not taking him lightly whatsoever. Gonna be a fun series, and probably a closely contested series again.
Yeah, we'll see what winds up happening when you two get that scheduled in the next week. Anything else you want to add, RandoRunner?
No, I mean, I really appreciate everyone involved with the tournament, hoster, everyone that's, volunteers, participants, everyone, that's, SpeedGaming, and everybody that's, stepped up to put all these matches online for entertainment for everybody. I just hope that y'all enjoy the rest of the tournament, and I know I will.
It's been a phenomenal tournament so far. Invented, anything you want to ask these runners?
No, excellent breakdown. I love seeing the sportsmanship between both of you. Beautiful race, well run. A little bit of bad luck, like you said on the routing, RandoRunner. But y'all both did awesome, and I was very happy and glad to be a part of it.
All right.
Likewise for me. Sorry, I was just gonna say
Nope.
Likewise for me. Thank you to everyone who makes the stream happen. You all know who you are. I won't go through the whole list, but thank you all so much for doing what you do. It's much appreciated.
Yeah, we want to give Caving In a big thank you for clicking the buttons on this match. And we have one final match for this evening. It's going to be coming up in about 55 minutes from now at midnight. Jess Sandy versus Fred. Game 1 of that best of 3. That'll be over on SpeedGaming with Money Mercs and Melchior on the call for that. All right, let's get on out of here. Inven, you survived your first commentary. How'd it go?
The nerves are real. The nerves are real. Done commentary for other things, speedruns, but it's a new community, and there's so many of you who know so much about it and do such an amazing job that wanting to live up to that, it's a bit of pressure. But I had a good time, and I really appreciate you coming out here with me, Rick.
You did fine, and we look forward to hearing you on another Z1R race later this tournament. All right, for the rest of the crew, I'm Adirondack Rick saying thank you for joining us. We'll see you in about 50 minutes for Just Sandy versus Fred over on SpeedGaming. Until then, happy randoing. Good night, everyone.
Good night.